That's mine right there. Yeah, I own you and you own me. I will.
Rumours are swirling that Katt Williams may have been right about Marjorie Harvey all along. According to online blogs, Marjorie's relationship with Steve Harvey is allegedly falling apart, with claims that their contract has now expired. The gossip has only intensified with accusations that Marjorie has been secretly involved with members of her own staff, including a bodyguard and even a chef. While Steve Harvey has publicly denied the cheating rumors, many people find it suspicious that Marjorie has remained completely silent despite being the main target of the allegations. For critics familiar with her past, however, none of this seems shocking. They point to her history of relationships with powerful men and claim she eventually found her way back to Steve, convincing him to fully embrace her children while, according to rumors, his own biological children were pushed into the background. People have also revisited the story of how Steve and Marjorie first met back in 1990 at a comedy club. Steve often recalls seeing her walk in, staring directly at her, and boldly declaring that he would marry her someday. Now, with all the recent drama and speculation, that once romantic story is being viewed in a completely different light. Interview 2:01209. Sounds cute, right? Yeah. Except Steve Harvey was still legally married to his first wife, Marsha, when he was making marriage promises to a woman he met at a comedy show. At that time, Marjorie wasn't interested in struggling comic Steve, because he wasn't living a wealthy lifestyle yet. Instead, she reportedly moved on and became involved with two men described as kingpins. Meanwhile, Steve and Marka had 3 children, twin daughters Brandy and Carly, and a son, Broderick. But things became messy. Marsha later claimed Steve was unfaithful with multiple women and allegedly left her while she was still pregnant with Broderick. She filed for divorce. And when child support and alimony issues followed, the situation escalated into court battles. Reports, including Radar Online, stated that in 1995, Steve was ordered to pay $5,100 per month. Later, Marka claimed she still wasn't receiving payments consistently. By that time, Steve had already moved on to his second wife, Mary Shackelford. However, that marriage also fell apart. Mary later alleged that Marjorie influenced Steve to distance himself from his biological children while embracing her own from previous relationships with Jim Townsend and Donnell Woods. Marjorie has 3 children, Morgan, Jason, and Laurie, whom Steve later adopted. Marjorie's past also resurfaced in public discussions, including her marriages to Jim Townsend and Donnell Woods, both of whom were linked to criminal activity and served prison time. After those relationships ended, she reconnected with Steve while he was still married to Mary. Shortly after, Steve and Mary divorced, and Steve later married Marjorie in 2007. Mary also claimed she supported Steve during his early career struggles and felt blindsided by how quickly he moved on. Ultimately, Steve adopted Marjorie's children and built a blended family. While the controversy surrounding the timeline of relationships continued to fuel public debate. Interview 4:13-428. But what's even more troubling is that Steve allegedly took Mary's son, Winton, and turned him against her. According to Mary, Steve used his money and celebrity status to influence the legal system and gain custody of Winton. Interview 4:41-536. But that's not even the worst part. In another recent interview, Mary claimed that Steve allegedly treated Winton harshly and inflicted severe punishment on him on a regular basis. According to Mary, when Winton was just 10 years old, Steve allegedly attacked him after Winton lied about doing his homework. This incident reportedly occurred after Winton had already moved in with Steve and Marjorie. Mary also said she was shocked when she saw the marks on her son's body and immediately questioned what had happened to him. She described the situation as deeply disturbing and said it raised serious concerns about how Winton was being treated in the household. As for whether Marjorie was involved or aware of the situation, Mary admitted she was unsure. However, she suggested that there may have been more going on behind closed doors than anyone outside the home truly knew. Interview 6:28703. Mary said that to this day she cannot forgive herself for not being there to protect Winton. However, Steve and Marjorie allegedly made it extremely difficult for her to maintain a close relationship with her son. Was he thinking about me? Was he calling to me in his head? And how can you shame a young man like that when they're going into their manhood to strip him down like that and you just beat him till he bled? How do you take a belt and you wrap it around your hand with the buckle part hanging? You're beating him with that.
all the
So much so,
businesses,
I saw an impression of that
all
buckle
the
inside of
money,
his thigh to where it must have just
the
wrapped around him
cars.
like a whip.
At a
Now, this
moment
story was
when
quickly
I
swept
was
under the
down.
rug,
I was
but
down
authorities
and
were reportedly
devastated.
notified about the alleged incident
He
involving
maneuvered
Winton.
everything.
According to a police
maneuvered
report
the-
cited in these claims, Winton
manipulated.
told
He
officers he
manipulated
experienced
the courts,
difficulty using the
everything
bathroom for
against
several
me.
days after an
He
altercation
went to
involving
court
Steve.
and under oath
However,
said that,
it is also
on his
alleged that
own,
Steve
he
used his
had
influence and the case was
built
ultimately
this
closed
whole
without further
thing
investigation.
by himself.
These reports have
And,
raised questions
I
among
just sat
online
at the
commentators
table
about what
and
really
cried.
happened
I
at the
cried
time
through the whole
and why the matter
thing.
did not proceed further.
And
Some
I
people
felt
also question how the situation was handled within the household, especially given Winton's age at the time of the alleged incident. According to Mary's account, she believes she was kept away from her son and prevented from maintaining a close relationship with him. She also claims that Marjorie played a role in creating distance between them, though these are allegations and not verified facts. Mary further suggests that there may have been emotional manipulation within the family dynamics, which she believes contributed to the strained relationship between mother and son. However, all of these statements remain part of conflicting narratives and public claims surrounding the situation. No conclusions are drawn. I know that as a mother, if I was ever in a position to where I had to be in charge of somebody else's child, I definitely make sure they have a great relationship with that child. But I just don't see how Marjorie in particular, and call herself a mother to her own children and deliberately try to sabotage my relationship
Because what I
with my
think
son.
about,
I don't really get that because personally, even if it was a vengeance vendetta thing,
I
it's
think
like you
about
did
was
harm
he
to.
scared?
Reports have recently surfaced claiming that Steve Harvey's 3 biological children, Brandy,
Who was hitting
Carly,
him?
and Winton, have often
Was
felt
it
pushed
her?
aside while
Was
Steve
it him?
allegedly focused much of his attention on Marjorie Harvey's children,
Was he out of his
especially
clothes?
Lloyd.
Was
An
he
insider
screaming?
quoted in Radar Online alleged that the Harvey
'Cause he
household
couldn't have
is
had
not the
clothes on.
picture-perfect family it appears to be in public. According to this unnamed
For his
source,
back to get cut
there's
up like
significant
that.
tension behind closed doors with claims that
And even
Marjorie
at what,
and Steve
10?
tend to prioritize Loy, leaving the other children feeling excluded or overlooked. The insider also alleged that Marjorie holds a dominant role within the household dynamic, often taking control of family decisions. However, these claims remain unverified and are based on anonymous sources and online speculation. In recent months, blogs and blind items have further fueled controversy, alleging that Marjorie has been unfaithful to Steve for years with members of their household staff. Some rumors even suggest an alleged affair with Steve's longtime bodyguard, nicknamed Big Boom. Though no evidence has been publicly confirmed, despite the lack of proof, social media users have been quick to connect these allegations to comedian Katt Williams' viral comments on Club Shay Shah, where he criticized certain Hollywood dynamics and relationships. Supporters of that theory believe the current rumors reinforce his claims, while others dismiss them as entertainment-driven gossip without factual basis. As of now, none of these allegations have been verified by credible sources. And the Harvey family has not publicly addressed the specific claims circulating online. I've never seen them have anything that I ever wanted. If you sign up for their program, you get a light-skinned weird-faced wife that never do an interview. Listen, in 20 years won't do an interview. Nobody's ever talked to her, and she's never been interviewed anywhere. And now understand, I'm not talking about one person. What I just told you applies to 7 people. Katt also brought up how Steve left his first wife for Marjorie, but now according to him, he tries to rewrite history and act as if Marjorie was with him when he had nothing. Thanks to my wife, I'm where I am. You said that about the first wife. You forget that. You told us it was her, then you went and married somebody else that think like a man. Like, what are you talking about? They think they can rewrite history. Now, here's the thing. Whether the cheating rumors about Marjorie Harvey hold any truth or not, she has quickly become one of the most heavily criticized wives in the public eye. However, it's important to separate speculation from confirmed facts. At the end of the day, regardless of opinions, Marjorie's past relationships and Steve Harvey's marital history are both part of a long and complicated timeline. Steve was previously married before marrying Marjorie, and both have experienced multiple transitions in their personal lives over the years. Still, online discussions often focus more on perception than verified reality. Critics argue about past decisions, while supporters point out that much of what circulates online is based on rumors, anonymous claims, and social media speculation rather than solid evidence. Despite this, both Steve and Marjorie continue to appear together publicly and maintain their family image, often sharing moments of their life in the spotlight. Like many high-profile couples, they are frequently subject to public scrutiny and commentary, fair or not. Now, I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe the claims made by Steve's ex-wife, Mary, that Marjorie has influence behind the scenes? And what about the cheating allegations? Do you think there is any truth to them, or are they just internet speculation?